What's up, everyone? Darkscream217 here. With me is a guest of mine, a horseman of mine, Windsor321,
Yo.
and another anime catalog review thing, pre-impressions thing I like to do with other people. Um, this is the summer 2013 chart. If you've seen these videos before, you know the drill. There's a link in the description below. You can look at the video article with us as I read out and give up my thoughts on it. And I actually want to get through most of the ones I do not care about. I want to get through them really, really fast because there are some I do care about, and I am going to discuss almost as like pre-impressions for like good 10 minutes or so. So we both have some shows that do pique our interest that we want to focus on. All right, right?
Let's do this.
Let's do this. All right. You know what? I'll go first. First show on the list, I do not care about right at the start. Kingdom 2, sequel to the Kingdom TV series that I've never seen. In the warring state periods of ancient China, Shin and Hyo are war orphans in the Kingdom of Qing. They dream of one day providing themselves on the battlefield. One day, however, Hyo is taken to the palace by a minister. Winding up in the losing side of a power struggle, Hyo manages to return to the village barely alive. Shin meets a boy who closely resembles the Hyo Aisei. For now, he is the king of Qing. Later, he'll become the emperor of Xing Huangdi, if I'm pronouncing all that correctly. I might not because China has some really bizarre pronunciations, or so I think so from my knowledge of Dynasty Warrior 7. Haven't seen the first show. I don't know. This doesn't interest me. You got anything to say?
No, it's just a sequel to something that I didn't pay attention to when it was actually out. So,
Yeah. In fact, I don't think a lot of people did. Not many people in the community discuss this anime locally or on the internet that I'm familiar with. Anyway, your turn.
I don't know how I feel about this title. Tamayura Futatos. Sequel to the Tamamura Hitatos TV series. Oh, it has nothing to do with that. For her first year of high school, Fusata Sawatari moves to Takehara, a scenic old town near Hiroshima, on the inland sea. Her father, who has passed away, grew up in Takahara. She loves taking photographs with her father's old film camera, a Rollei 355. The story follows her and the friends who gather around her as she comes to love her new house.
Didn't,
Home.
didn't see the first series. It sounds like a really heartwarming story, but it's not my cup of tea.
Next.
Yeah. Alright, next show I am actually going to read out in a funny wannabe South Park narrator voice because this hits the thing that I've always complained about with some of these upcoming anime shows. Alright, here we go. Kimi no Irumashi. Kirishima Haruto is your average Hiroshima Prefecture countryside Japanese student that is about to start his 3-year high school life. But before that happens, a girl from Tokyo, Eba Yuzuki, whose father is the friend of Haruto's father, shows up at his house to live with him and his family so she can attend the same high school. Naruto isn't happy of the situation. A stranger that happens to be a girl of his same age, not his relative, living in the same house like him will cause complications. Truth is, Haruto has another girl in mind, Kanazaki Nanami, who Haruto has hidden romantic feelings for since middle school, and so starts his complicated life. No, 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 blah blah blah, average boy high school until one day blah 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 meets a girl. Come on, I've seen this before a bunch of times, and it's created by Studio Gonzo. I don't usually judge by studios, but Gonzo is a name that's almost akin to Satan for most anime fans in the first place because their animation quality isn't all that great. However, they also worked on Welcome to NHK, one of my top favorite anime, which I am going to review in the near future, as I said before. But that's like maybe one small exception. I don't know what else they worked on. I have to take a look. But yeah, this show doesn't look like it's gonna get people to talk about this show to get me interested in it. It's not gonna be Attack on Titan, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
And just seems like a drama llama fest to me.
yeah, all right. Your turn.
Alright.
Next show.
Jinei o Kakaru Tayo. Let's see, also called Soul Pentra L whatever.
Yeah, just say,
A
just
story of a story of girls who solve mysterious matters that occur in this world using the mystical tarot cards that hold the power to read destinies. If this isn't Moe Persona, I'm going to be disappointed.
I don't think it's gonna be Moe Persona. I don't even think it's gonna be Moe Megami Tensei.
Yeah, not enough information to really
Same here.
make an opinion on this yet.
All right.
Next.
Yep, my turn. Servant Cross Service. Oh boy. This story centers on the employees of Government Ward Office in a city in Hokkaido and follows the daily lives of Health and Welfare Division members. Not enough information to go on. I do not care about the everyday lives of those guys. If I worked in the business, maybe I would, but no. That's
Hey, you look at this way. At least it's not a high school.
true.
Okay. Oh boy. Here we go. Monogatari series second season. The second season arc of the Monogatari series. The series will cover the material from 6 volumes of the original light novel series in 2 course or half a year. So it's a half a year long Monogatari series. I hope you guys like teeth brushing.
Did you have anything else to say about the Monogatari series?
It's like it all changed after the first season. Yes, there was plenty of dialogue, but when it came back around, it was nothing but fan service. Like nothing but fan service. I mean, come on. If they can make teeth brushing a fetish, who knows what they can accomplish this time around?
Yeah, I did not care for Monogatari because of the excessive dialogue. I've said this in the past before. A lot of people really liked it, especially the guys who are into the more artsy stuff. However, I bet when it shifted into fan service territory, I bet a lot of fans like fucking threw their remotes at the TV or just punch a hole through their monitor, because most of the artistic guys are also like they just frown upon fan service. They turn their up nose at it. It's like jiggly titties, how revolting.
It's kind of weird because at the same time they were trying to make artsy fan service.
Yeah, toothbrushing. I'm trying to think what else I could do with that. Flossing. Have they done flossing?
Who knows? I haven't watched the movies either, so I don't know.
Alright, next show, Zenki Seisho Sufagirji, sequel to that series. 2 years ago, a pair of idols, Tsubasa Kazanari and Kanade Amo, collectively known as the Zweiring, I don't care if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, fought against an alien race known as Noise using armor known as Symphogear to protect a girl named Hibiki Tachibana who got severely wounded by the Noise. Kanade sacrificed herself. 2 years later, Tsubasa has fought the Noise alone. Hibiki ends up gaining the same power as Kanade. I've only saw the first episode of the first Symphogear, which was really good so far, but for some reason I just didn't get around to finishing that up.
And I watched the episode right after that. That cliffhanger they ended episode 1 on kind of didn't build up to anything. And I was expecting the same thing from the second cliffhanger. I don't know. I'll get around to finishing it before this starts up.
Your turn.
Okay. Recorder to Rando Serumi, sequel to that series. This series is mainly about the Bigawa siblings, Atushi, an elementary student whose build and appearance is the same as a typical adult man, and Asumi, his sister, a high school girl whose appearance is that of an elementary student. They live every day encountering misunderstandings and misadventures, most to be blamed to their ironic age and looks. Oh, I remember this now.
I remember it, but I never seen it.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, alright.
It seemed like kind of a funny concept, but I don't know what they were going with this.
Alright, next show, Kin-Iro Mosaic. The story begins with Shinobu Kima, a 15-year-old seemingly pure Japanese girl who actually did a homestay in Great Britain. Even after coming back to Japan, she still misses her time overseas. One day, an airmail letter arrives from Alice, the girl in Shinobu's host family in Great Britain. The letter reads, Shinobu, I'm coming to Japan. The Japanese-British girls mixed comedy follows the lives of Shinobu, Alice, and other girls from both Japan and Great Britain. I'll give them this much. It is hilarious what they're going to do to the British people.
Yes, I'm actually curious about
I
this.
I am curious about their perspective on those guys. Because we've seen a lot of American jokes in anime a whole bunch of times. Even characters who are supposed to be from another country can come off as more American most of the time. So, yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, oh boy. High School DxD New. That's an
It's a
original
sequel.
title.
Yeah.
The story follows Issei Hadoka, a dim-witted, lecherous second-year high school student who was killed by a girl on his first date ever. Shiki's reincarnated as the devil, and from that day forward he serves as an underling of Raitsu, a high-level devil who is also the prettiest girl on Issei's canvas. Okay, let me explain this series
Okay.
a little bit. Okay, so the main character dies, comes back, gains powers. His powers mostly involve fighting females. And I've never fully finished it, but what was explained to me was he has the ability to communicate with tits and learn the girl's weaknesses. Yeah. Apparently he's also like a TV star in like a television series in hell, and he's completely unaware of it.
Oh, man. Not bizarre, but doesn't interest me.
Yeah.
Anyway, next show. Senyu Season 2, which is a sequel. Obviously. A gigantic hole suddenly opened up in the world one day and demons appear. The king thinks that the demon portends the return of the demon king, Ruki Medesu, who was sealed away from the hero Kyrie Shion a millennium ago. The king decreed that the descendant of the hero must take on the threat, and 75 people showed up. Hero number 45, Aruba, and a sadistic palace Rosu team up, and their adventure begins. That doesn't sound like the premise for the second season, but whatever. It doesn't interest me.
I can never really get interested in that series because that main character there looks too much like Cloud.
I agree.
I would say it looks too much like Zack, but Zack had more style than pointy hair.
Alright, next show.
Fantasia Doll. The science fiction story revolves around dolls who fight and power up with special cards. I'm noticing a theme here. You have like moe blobs and cards.
And colors. The purple, red, yellow, black, blue, and pink. Dolls
I'm gonna power up with my Charizard card.
Dolls and cards. You could probably make a lot of collectible shit with that. Expensive collectible shit. And Japan does run on a collector's market, so. Not enough to say if that show's good or not. It's something I have to wait and see.
I'll give it the 3-episode treatment. Who knows?
Next show, Bloodlad. Bloodlad follows Staz, a vampire that is obsessed with the human world, and Fuyumi, a human girl that was killed and turned to a ghost after wandering into the demon world. Staz promises to help Fuyumi regain her humanity by bringing her back to life, as it means that he will be able to visit the human world. I hate let me just speak when I say I don't find vampires all that interesting most of the time. Like, the few exceptions I have are Hellsing, Evangeline from Negima, and who else? Actually, I have to think this one. But vampires, when they had that many weaknesses back then, nowadays the vampire lore is like fucked with so many times by different writers it doesn't even matter anymore. But when they had the basic stuff with the steak, the garlic, the sunlight, I thought, wow, that's way too many weaknesses. It's not worth it. So yeah, that's why I originally didn't like him. Of course, I've lightened up on them, but they're still not. I'm not a vampire buff, so this show won't interest me.
Yeah, I mean, the character in the background looks interesting, the one with the mask, but that's really about it.
Alright, you want to do the next show?
Yeah, okay. Ucho Ten Kazoku. The comedy drama of Utochin Kazoku is set in Kyoto, where Takuni, shape-shifting raccoon dogs, Tengu, long-nosed goblins of Japanese folklore, and humans intermingle. The story follows the Shimigamo family of Tanuki who lives in the Tasadu no Mori forest of the Shingi Hamo Shrine. Well, it has some interesting folklore to it,
I don't know.
but I really can't
Are we gonna
figure out anything about it.
Are we gonna get teabagged by Tanukis? Just like in that one Miyazaki film, was it?
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Like I said, doesn't interest me. Don't worry. Shit on the list later on will come up and we'll talk about extensively. Like I said, we're just trying to plow through the other stuff.
Mm.
Alright. Next show, Love Lab. The story revolves around the girls at the elite Fujisaki Girls Middle School, which has Sundari and fuck! Meganeko, and other kinds of students. Oh, you mean all the other archetypes that you put in every anime since the history of forever?
Wait, hold on. So let me get so this is female only high school based around stereotypes. I'm pretty sure it sounds like you can only get in this school if you have a stereotype.
Are you are you initially aloof and abrasive, but later kind-hearted? Oh wait, you have 3 dimensions to your personality? Well, we can't enroll you in this high school. Fuck off. As you can tell, Tsunderes are not my favorite archetypes of characters. They've been overused, they're very obnoxious. The way they act is always perplexing and makes no fucking sense in the context of a situation. And Multifire hates them way more than I do, and I've been trying to coerce him into making a rant about it sometime in the future, but I don't know if he's ever getting around to doing it. But yeah, and Megan Echo's okay, women who wear glasses. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that seems to be their only selling point, because that's a fetish sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And other kinds of students, man, they don't. This description gives so less of a fuck that they can't even mention the other things. There's probably a yandere in that show, and they don't. Not a fiddler's fuck. Anyway, spent too much time on that. Next show.
Okay. TQU Season 2. This sequel series, the story centers around 4 high school girls who belong to a tennis club. Unless one of them's a trap, I'm not interested. It's one of the only reasons I like Cynical Kid.
Okay, I'm not a fan of tennis. And there's Prince of Tennis. I don't know. That show might be compared to that, and next show. Ready?
Ready.
Ginu Saji, Silver Spoon. Yugo Hachiken dreams of a life separated from his family, so he takes the initiative by enrolling in an agriculture school. He thinks with its talent of studying, no problems will arise no matter what kind of school he attends. He is proven wrong very quickly. Raised as a city boy, he is forced to uncover the inconvenient truth about agricultural life, which is actually kind of not boring and something I am not fully motivated into. I'll stick with being a suburban boy myself.
Yeah.
You love
farming.
Yeah, if you have a passion for farming, guess what? There's an anime for you.
Yep. I mean, look at that cow.
That cow.
Okay. This one bugs me to some degree, and I'll explain why in a second. Inu to Hatsumi wa Tsukayo. The absurd mystery comedy centers around Kazuyo Haruma, a high school boy who is obsessed with reading books. One day he is killed in the middle of a robbery and resurrected as a dasher dog. Unable to read in his new form, the hapless Kazuyo now belongs to Kirheim Natsuo, a sadistic novelist who uses scissors on Katsuyo to abuse him. It's an anime about a novelist who's an animal abuser.
No.
Like, part of me thinks that that's going to be a major, thing about
Even if they try to play it for gag laughs, I'm a dog lover. I grew up with 2 dogs in my life. That scene from Elfen Lied with the dog getting ruthlessly beaten in front of Lucy. That scene was so fucking hard to watch, dude. Had to mute it just so I can, not hear the cries of that puppy dog. I don't know if I can. Like that's just me. And that's another reason why I can't watch I Am Legend again, because the dog dies in that movie too. So yeah.
Spoilers. No, just kidding.
Who cares? Those movies are the shows I mentioned are years old at this point.
I know. Okay, here we go to some good stuff now.
Okay, you like Danganronpa, that's all. Oh wait, I think I know about this, but you know what? You have this one.
Okay. Danganronpa, Kubo no Gatsu no whatever, it's Danganronpa. Okay. The story follows a group of high school students, each with different exceptional talents, who are locked inside a school and told that the only way to escape is to kill another student without getting caught. After a murder, the remaining students must hold a trial with their lives on the line to find out who the killer is.
Damn, that actually sounds cool.
It's like Phoenix Wright, mixed with
I've heard about that game.
9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors.
I've heard about that game. Is it like in Japan for the PSP?
There's 2 of them. There's Danganronpa, there's Super Danganronpa, and it has a lot of acclaim. Sadly, it's impossible to find a good translation of it, at least for me it is. And a majority of the fandom for it is based around a Let's Play.
Because that
But
game,
hey, we have an anime now, so
yeah,
I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, but I really want to play the game because I never played Phoenix Wright, but I've always wanted to. But I probably never have the chance because I don't have a DS or a 3DS. But Virtue's Last Reward, which is the sequel to 999, I really, really love that game. And the way you described it to me is like, holy crap, I must play this game. I gotta find, I don't know who I have to go to, but god damn it, this game needs to be localized and sold digitally. I mean, if
Someone help out in the comment section, that would be convenient for...
It would be. I mean, if Corpse Party and its sequel gets, whatever, alternate retelling, its successor, Book of Shadows, can get released digitally. And yes, I am familiar with Corpse Party, which we'll tie into later in this video. I'm pretty sure we could try to get Danganronpa in. I mean, it's really, I don't see any reason to not localize this. Sell it digitally for like a few bucks, and boom. People will come out, reviews, hopefully it'll be general praise, and more people with a PS Vita will give it a check. Or hell, maybe, damn, I just want to play that game. It sounds so fucking interesting. But in the meantime, I guess I'll stick with the anime. Alright, next show. Tokure Sochi Denta Stello Jo Gakuin Koto Ka C3 Poo.
I'll take care of this one.
Okay. I get the next set of shit.
Yeah. Yuyamura has just arrived at the high school divisions of Stella Girls Academy. The Sonata Kashima invites Yura to join a club called C3. Sonora is the third-year student who became the new head of the club for survival games. But the other member includes 2 second-year students, part Japanese and the G36K wielding guns, and 2 other new students whose names I'm not going to ignore right now. Family run a Japanese. Oh, that's literally just them explaining it. So essentially, it's girls with guns. Yay, people like that, right?
Yeah.
Girls with guns. I guess it gets like, if it's actual guns, it's kind of crazy. It's made by Gainax, so.
Yeah, but this isn't the same Gainax that has Studio Trigger under its foot. So.
Yeah, Studio Trigger. We're not going to get anything from them till fall.
We do.
Still waiting on Kill la Kill.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, Studio Trigger is an animation studio that branched off of Gainax. They're the ones responsible for some of the crazier shit that was released, such as and correct me if I'm wrong, Windsor, please. Fooly Cooly, Gurren Lagann, Panty and Stocking.
Yeah, they all worked on
those wackier parts of Gainax.
They also turns out Trigger was working on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure too.
Oh, That's a show I really need to see.
Yeah.
But and sadly, it's because of that we probably may never get season 2 of Penny Stocking ever. But
At this point, we have some quality material. They made Little
yeah,
Witch Academia.
but dude, it's just me. I still want a second season of Penny Stocking, not because of the ending. I just like it so much. I wish there was just more of it. Period.
I guess all we got right now for us Bakagajins is Inferno Cop.
Yeah, for no cop. All right. Next. All right. You know what?
Okay, let me do this one, and then you can do the next two, because
I'm
those
doing
two.
the next 3.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, so you know of it too. Okay, I'll do Brothers Conflict then. Brothers Conflict. This story centers around a girl who suddenly gets 11 brothers, from 32 years old down to 11 years old. When her father remarries, she joins the Asana family under one roof at the Sunrise Residence Complex.
Actually, it's pronounced Asahina as a Mikuru Asahina.
Well, the only thing I have to say to this is anime like this is cheaper by the dozen.
Okay. Alright. This show, I don't know. It looks like it's something that might cater to women because, I don't know, 11 dudes. Most of them have to be Pashona at this point.
Yeah.
I wish you could tell us what genre it is, but I don't know because they don't post that. Anyway, next show, Rosen Maiden, new series. Due to a deep trauma at school, Sakura Jun has refused to return. He spends his time in his room surfing the web and ordering anything that takes his fancy, only to return the items just before the payment is due. One day he finds a website that tells him to put his order in a drawer of his desk. He does so thinking it will be a joke, only to find that the letter disappears and a strange package arrives soon afterwards. It contains an exquisite doll that, when wound, comes to life. She treats him as a servant of little worth, but over time helps him come to grips with his fears, and his in life or death fights to soon follow her arrival. So is this a reboot to Rosen Maiden?
I'm still not completely sure. I believe it. I believed it to be a reboot.
I think the first series had like multiple seasons. I can't remember.
It had 2, I believe, didn't it?
Or
2
3,
seasons?
2 or 3, I can't tell. But I think the series got like canceled halfway release because that was one of the Geneon licensed stuff, especially late before its collapse in 2007. But yeah, they're rebooting it. So
It would make sense if they can't continue the series because of what happened.
okay, I don't know. I saw the first few episodes of Rosen Maiden, and yeah, the doll treats the main character like complete. Actually, that and the one Desu doll that everyone likes. I can't pronounce her name. Sweet
Yes.
Satsuki, whatever.
Are you guys ready for the return of Desu?
The return of Desu. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I really did not care much for Rachel Alucard, and yes, it's pretty much Rachel Alucard from Blaze Blue, even right down to the voice actress. I thought it would be an interesting series at first, but I just didn't care much. And I don't know if I care much about the fight scenes either. So, may give this a pass unless people start spreading the word of the gospel. Now.
I'll check it out just to keep the Desu counter alive.
Next show on the list. I'm so giddy I can't talk straight, but I'll try anyway. Genshiken no Dame, anime adaptation of Shimoku Kyo's Genshiken second season sequel manga. The story continues the adventures of the Otaku College Club, the Society for the Study of Modern Visual Culture. Okay, everyone at this point knows that I am a huge Genshiken nut. Read the manga, seen the anime, have the Kuchibiki Unbalanced TV series on DVD. Because they were $15 a pop and they all came with a Genshiken OVA. And I have read the first volume of the second season Genshiken. I do like the manga still. I still like it. But some fans are probably royally pissed with the second season. Here's why. Since it stars with since it takes place far later in college, and since it's a college setting, most of the characters that were in the original series have graduated, moved on, etc., etc. They do make appearances here from time to time, and there's actually still a plot point regarding one of the characters that's still going on, which I'm happy for, and that's one of the reasons why I'm sticking with this. However, the club kind of got transformed into a fujoshi club so far. For those who don't know what a fujoshi is, it's Japanese for rotten girl, but everyone knows them as yaoi fangirls. If you look them up, same thing. Obsessed with yaoi, likes to put pairings up no matter how much sense they make, or a lack of sense. Those kinds of people. They introduced 3 new characters. I don't know much about the other girl. There was this one chick who's kind of overweight, kind of looks like a dude sometimes, named Jiyama. And then there's the third character, who is the most prettiest of the 3 new characters introduced. But here's the kicker. He's a transvestite. It's kind of funny, and it's funny because the second otaku chick I mentioned, Jiyama, not that attractive, yet a boy somehow out-sex appeals her. I just kind of find that hilarious. Now, usually, introducing new characters, especially when they're kind of replacing the old cast, is something that's just going to be of controversy, especially in the direction it took. I actually had to look online to make sure to see if this is still a seinen genre manga. Seinen, for those who don't know, it's basically manga that's like targeted towards older men. It's like shonen, but with an older audience. I forgot what the female equivalent is to the seinen. Or did I say it's seinen? Crap, hold on. Let me look it up.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, I'm just going to go on a slightly different thing, and we're going to circle back to this whole yaoi fan controversy a little bit.
Well, we will.
But, okay, so, man, looking at this again makes me feel old. I was watching Season 2 of Genshiken when it was airing in Japan. Has it really been, 6 or 7 years?
Oh, yeah. It has been that long. And I finished reading the manga in, I want to say 2009, 2010. Like when I got through volume 5, when they started with Ogiwe and all that stuff, I was just zooming right through it in between my college classes, just loving the shit out of that manga. I've been reading it in between my classes, before class ends and after it. I've been reading it before I have to start working on stage rehearsals as a light director or a sound editor, as a soundboard operator. And that's the time when I read manga the most too. And Genshiken, I was just reading it, loving it, and yeah. But it has been a long ass time. But I think the second volume series came out in 2010, which I didn't know about until about when I posted that video that they were localizing it here. Again, they do take some controversial risks, but the feel of the manga is still there. Guys, I feel ya. I feel ya. I've been around yaoi fangirls in my high school life. They can be pretty damn obnoxious. Aiko Arisaka, I know he has a history with them. I've seen his rants on them in the past. However, I'm a guy who looks at a glass half full and try to look at the positives, and that's what I did when I watched the first volume of Genshiken. And it didn't offend me like the Tenchi Muyo 2003 series did, or some parts of Slayer's Revolution did. I still managed to like this, and I will continue it, and I will continue supporting it. I am still a fan of Genshiken. The only criticism I have is that one of the characters, who I wish would have been long fucking gone, is still there. That's, Kuchiki. You see him. He's that guy in the green shirt looking like a jackass. Hate that character. Hate him with a passion. I was hoping he would fuck off home. But yeah, that's my criticisms. I don't care about the American chick in the front cover. I forgot her name already. She's a friend of Ono's, but she likes to blurt out random anime quotes all the time. The only one I was able to recognize was the one from Azumanga Daioh in the manga. The other ones I had to look up. But yeah, other than that, it's like, no, this is so far not offensively bad.
Yeah,
I mean, if you survive Genshiken, just try to hold out, try to enjoy yourself with this. If you can't, oh well. But I'm still a strong Genshiken supporter. I'm still going through it. I'm still gonna endure it. I need to read Volume 2, but I'm gonna do it. Boy, that's a lot to say about Genshiken. I sure hope people comment on how much I had to say about that. And trust me, the whole Fujoshi thing, it's gonna come back soon. Anything else you want to say, Jordan?
It's Genshiken. I'll support it one way or another, and depending on how everything's depicted, if it's accurate, you can't really say it's, a bad thing. Anyways, yeah, Genshiken is Genshiken.
Yeah, Genshiken is still Genshiken, even if it has a little more yaoi to it. Oh well, I still get a few laughs.
I managed to sit through those couple episodes, so it's season 2, so...
Yeah, season 2's had some of those moments, so in a way I was warmed up to it. So when they finally brought that, I was like, okay, fine. And hell, this could even probably put more female viewers in this series now. They can finally find more relatable characters. I don't know what new male characters they could introduce that they haven't done already. The unmotivated artist, well, they got Kugiyama. The more passionate militaristic guy, well, Madarame. He's still in the series. The normal guy or the most handsome looking guy who's the most hardcore otaku, yeah, that's Kosuka. The shy new guy, Sasahara. So yeah, I don't know what new the cosplayer, the cosplay artist, Tanaka. Yeah, I think they covered all grounds with at least the male characters.
Yeah, I agree.
So they probably need to cover ground with some of the more female characters because we only had Saki, who's not really the otaku. She's actually the most normal character in the series. Ono, who's the cosplayer, and Ogiwe, who's the closet yaoi fangirl. Unfortunately, most female anime fans, not all of them, but most of them are yaoi fangirls, so. Alright.
Yeah. So, let me get this one.
Oh, no, I want to get this one.
No, come on, man.
Dude, you had, like, what? 1, 2, 3. I need 3.
Okay, fine.
Alright. Watashi ga motenai no do kangaete mo omere wa warikata. I hope that gets translated in English. The slice of life gag comedy series centers around Tomoko Kurikai, a girl who thought she'd be popular when she went to high school. However, when she was in for a rude awakening, for cruel reality is not like in the Otome games, romance games for female players she played. Yeah, on TV Tropes I stumbled onto this series and I read a few.
On 4chan, this is posted everywhere.
Probably because most people relate to this character, so I've took a look at this. I'm like, well, I got some weird kicks out of this series. I'll give it a chance. I've read the manga, most of the manga. Not most of it, but some of it. This could be interesting because she's gonna fuck up socially, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Yep. I'm interested in seeing where that's going because it's weird enough, but this series is hyped. It's hyped up greatly in some special way.
Alright, your turn.
Okay. Kitakibu Kitakibu Katsudo Kurodu. Kitakibu, literally Go Home Club.
I was part of that club for high school all my life.
Is Japanese slang for kids who go home instead of joining clubs, sports, or other after-school activities. I'm actually quite interested in this already.
Like I said, I'm an official member of that high school.
In one high school, there is a real kitakibu of girls who do whatever they like. The president is a free spirit named Sakura. while Botan is the combative heir to the school of ancient martial arts. Claire happens to be the daughter of the head of the powerful
Kokonoe.
Kokonoe conglomerate. Natsuki joins the club at the invitation of another freshman, Karen, but she is unprepared for the hijinks there.
I'll give them this much. They managed to turn a slice of life genre anime, which is what it sounds like. They made it sound interesting, but I don't know if it will be.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Seems entertaining enough. After all, there is no club better like the
Go.
I'm done with this club.
What else was I gonna say? I can't remember. I just hope it's not 10 minutes an episode.
No, it's a 3MA.
A 3MA?
3-minute anime.
Next show from Tatsunoko Productions, Gatchaman Crowds. The story is set in Japan in the early summer of 2015. 180,000 people live in Tachikawa City, the second metropolis in the Tokyo area. Among them are Gatchaman, warriors who fight in the special reinforced suits powered by notes, the manifestation of special spiritual powers in living beings. A council has scouted a group of individuals with Latin powers to protect Earth from alien criminals. In recent years, the council has assigned the Gatchaman warriors to deal with a mysterious entity known as Mess. So, yes, this is related to Science Team Ninja Force Gatchaman, if I'm saying that correctly. It's made by Tatsunoko, the name's in the title, but I don't know how specifically it's related to it. I don't know if this is a reboot, a sequel, prequel, side story, not entirely sure. I tried to research more into it, but I couldn't find anything specific.
Yeah, I've never been a big, fan of Gatchaman. Well, I've never really watched it anyway. Never had the motivation to, so...
I want to check it out.
I mean, it seemed cool, but I already have a backlog of 10,000 pages, so...
Yeah. Alright, next show. Oh, this should be right up your alley.
I knew it was going to come to this. Futari wa Milky Homes. Sequel to the Tantan Opera Milky Homes, alternative to blah blah blah. It's Milky Homes. In the future world, people use toys that grant them superhuman abilities like ESP and telekinesis. This has led to bloom in both minor crimes and the need for toy-using detectives to track down the offenders and bring them to justice. Oprah Kobishi runs the detective agency Milky Homes, staffed by 4 cheerful and energetic girls.
I'd never seen the first Milky Homes. I have no drive to do so. I know one of our friends did a really good fan art of one of the main characters. That much I know. That's it.
Aesthetically appealing it is, but honestly, I'm pretty sure that this is an anime for kids.
This feels like a kids anime. It does. I even said that. I think that I said that the first time around.
So yeah, Milky Homes. If you like Milky Homes, watch it.
Alright. Next show.
Here we go.
Free. My turn.
Otherwise known as
the
swimsuit anime.
The swimming anime. The story revolves around Haruka Nanase, a boy who... wow, that sounds like a very feminine name. A boy who has always loved to be immersed in water and to swim in it. After participating in a swimming tournament along with its swimming club members Makoto Tachibana, Nagisa Hazuki, and Ren Matsuoka, wow, if you didn't see the picture, you probably thought most of them may be female. Each of the boys went their separate ways. Time passed, and in the middle of their uneventful high school lives, Ren appears and challenges Haruka to a match, showing Haruka his overwhelming power. Not wanting to end it like this, Haruka gathers together Makoto and Nagisa once again and also brings a new member named Rei Ryukazaki to create the Iwatobi High School Swimming Club. Haruka, Makoto, Nagase, Rain, and Ren come together for a story of swimming, youth, and friendship. Okay, time for a little bit of
Before we get on the obvious topic, let's talk about the original,
Yeah, I was gonna do that.
Oh.
So...
Well... Yeah, I'll get to my point later.
All right. So several months ago, there was some advertisement, some trailer that showed these characters, um, but not much was known about them. It was, and most people dubbed it swimming anime. Now, I don't know what Japan was like. And by the way, this is all done by Kyoto Animation, from the people who brought you Haruhi Suzumiya, Lucky Star, K-On!, and Tamako Market. Now, I don't know what the Eastern world was like, the reaction to this, but I know some Fujoshis and Yaoi fangirls on the internet were kind of excited for this, and it was just simply, we didn't know anything, simply called swimming anime. Uh, but there was like this hype and expectation that this was going to be a legitimate series, an actual anime series. Now, people thought that fans have actually demanded it, but to be honest, because the trailer was already been created, and this anime's already, this all happened in the same year too. Since this anime was already coming this year, I had a feeling that they had this plan before fans' consent. I guess they were just showing the ad to see how the waters, how
To test the waters.
test the waters, no pun intended. Now, this show is confirmed, and it's directed by a female director who seems really giddy excited, and she is kind of, she sounded kind of semi-perverted when she started talking about this series. And it's obviously aimed for a female demographic. Yeah, I mean, come on, they all look like Bashonins. It's aimed for a female. This is for women. This is fan service for women, and it might be more. But then again, this is from the same people who make Keihan, so they kind of survive on moe fluff. But there could be more to the characters and stuff. I could be wrong. They actually have a plot right here in the description.
And I mean, man, look at that new character they added. The Dark Horse. Wearing black,
Yeah.
having red hair, and looking all malicious.
So rebellious, dark, and mysterious. Because Japan loves making those types of characters. Anyway,
It'll go perfect
This
for
show-
slash fiction.
this show I'm not going to really pay much attention to. I really do not care for this show. I do not like a whole lot of shows that have an obvious amount of Bashonen casts, like Hetalia. I might make an exception to the rule, but it's really not my cup of tea. But I do welcome this show's existence. If y'all something for female fans to get a little excited over, if this is their cup of tea, I welcome it. If this is what you want, that's fine, because I believe in equality. I really do. Originally, I was going to do a rant because I saw some backlash over it, but then again, all the backlash comments came from a website called Senkaku Complex, and the people there just, so there was not it's not really worth my time. And when I saw the same news on Japanator, there were actually I saw more welcoming comments than backlash over this show. My question is, why are people lashing out on this show? There have been character designs like this that have been predominant in a lot of shows. Like, anybody remember Sayuki? Everyone there's a fucking Bashonen. I think the backlash mostly comes from the fact that it's from Kyoto Animation, and I don't understand that either, because I don't think Kyoto Animation is the holy grail of animation for this generation. I liked Haruhi Suzumiya, but there was a shitload of flaws. I like Lucky Star, but I know not a whole lot of people are going to enjoy that show. I didn't like K-On! I didn't give a rat's ass about Tamako Market. So I never saw them as like the best studio out there. They're no Gainax or Madhouse or hell, even Studio Trigger for that matter.
Well, let me explain something. The reason for all the backlash is pretty apparent in its own way. Kyoto Animation is known for being a waifu generator. And the fact that they are tailoring to, as all the male fans of Kyoto would say, a small demographic which will not, get them much money for this series. They figure that they're just wasting everyone's time instead of making more moe blob stuff. In short, it's I don't want an anime about guys. I want an anime about cute women.
Okay. While what Kyoto Animation is doing is a huge fucking risk because that shit sells. Let's be honest. That's why there's so many. That's why there's been oversaturation for them for the past several years. Um, there's still plenty of other shows like that are coming out this season. Then we just browse through some of them. Let's see. Let's look. Uh, that Love Lab looks something like that. Blah, 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 that one about the dolls, Fantasisa dolls. Like, there's still handfuls of them, past and present. Seriously, okay, if the show fails, then it fails, and they're gonna go back to doing it. If it succeeds, whatever. My point is, get over it. Just let this thing come and pass. I, I really don't see why people should be offended by this show's existence. I
I actually plan on watching this ironically.
You can do that. Yeah.
I'll tell you if it's as big as Fuyoshi Bates is, it lets itself on to me.
Probably will be. But like I said, doesn't bother me none. Oh wow, what if the entire market comes like this? Well, I have a bunch of old anime I've yet to see that I can really get around to watching. If it really becomes like that, then I would just stop paying attention to the anime now and just go back to the anime yesterday. I mean, I have a friend who is a huge 80s nut. Loves the 1980s animation, everything. The only exception to the rule is Neon Genesis Evangelion 90s series. He's a huge fan of that too. He doesn't really care for much anime that comes out today. He doesn't know what the hell's going on with anime today because he can still stick to the past. It's like the Star Trek fans. Okay, you may hate the Abrams films, but at least you got the older material. You got like years of older material. You can just go back and watch. I don't know. I really, like I said, this might be something that would pander to women for fan servicey reasons. Let them have it. We got shit pandered to us all the time. We got freaking big titties and new clothing. I mean, there's a whole lot of oversaturation for it, but yeah. Get my point. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like this right here, this is like what? One anime out of how many on this list? It's literally the 1%.
Yeah, like that and maybe Brothers Conflict if it's what I'm thinking. And Genshin, well, that's not fans. Well, it's not that fan servicey of the series to begin with, so yeah. Anyway, you can have the next one.
Okay. Fate Kalid Linear Prisma Alia. Spin-off of Fate Night Stay. The story reimagines the Fate Stay the Fate Stay Night character Isvadel von Eisenburn, and an alternate universe is a magical girl. Oh, is Euro Butcher working on this? If so, this could be quite interesting. It's a spin-off, so I don't need to have any big information about Fate Stay Night. Enjoy it, right?
Right, and besides, magical girl spin-offs aren't a rare thing. You had Pretty Sammy, Nurse Witch Kamuki-chan was a spin-off of Soul Taker. School Days had a magical girl spin-off, believe it or not. Yeah, this could be kind of winky, crazy and silly. And I don't know much of the character Elisabeth von Eisburn, other than the fact that her warrior was this big berserker dude who's based off of Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I could see her as a magical girl. Also, is that Saber in the background too?
Pretty sure.
Oh.
Like,
No,
maybe.
no. Saber had blue
No.
eyes.
Yeah.
Alright, so do the other characters show up in the spin-off series? That usually happens in most of these Magical Girl spin-offs. I hope so.
It'd be funny if Saber turns out to be the villain.
Kind of funny, yeah. Next show.
Okay, enjoy your lollyball. I mean, go ahead.
Rokubu, sequel to that series. Subaru Hasegawa is a high school freshman. He joins the basketball team, but soon finds out that the team is inactive because the captain is being suspected as a lolicon. He miraculously is integral with the job of being the coach of a male elementary school basketball team. With these girls and their love for basketball, Subaru can only take them so far. I've read this description before. I do not give a shit. I used to like basketball, but I stopped caring about it. And no, just no, 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 no.
But this isn't basketball, it's lollyball. You just throw lollies into basketball hoops.
Alright, your turn.
Okay, this actually looks interesting. Mikey OG Devils and Realist. After his uncle's business fails, William Twinning, an intelligent young noble, finds himself in a dire financial situation with no funds for his school tuition. Haven't we all been there? He searches his house until he comes upon the basement. There, he accidentally summons Dantelin, who recognizes William as a descendant of Solomon and the Elector, the individual that will choose a substitute ruler for when the Emperor of Hell, Lucifer, rests. From that moment on, William's life is irrevocably interwoven with the supernatural world as other demonic candidates for substitution king vie for his nomination, and heaven attempts to retrieve his soul.
Huh, sounds crazy complex.
Yes.
Eh.
Seems like the plot delivered on explaining it and piquing my interest. The rest of that isn't important. Let's move on to what is.
Alright, my turn. The World Guy Only Knows Season 3, that's what I'm gonna fucking call it because that's what it translates to. Dating sim master Keima Ketsuragi wants nothing more than to immerse himself in 2D world chasing digital girlfriends. Boy, is that true. But when the so-called capturing god answers a mysterious email from an unknown sender, Keima finds himself chasing down real-life ladies in an attempt to help the peppy demon Elsie Delude Irma capture lost souls, escape from the depths of hell. Now, lest the explosive collar around his neck detonate, Keima must convince various girls to fall in love with him in order to scare out the souls hiding in their hearts. Season 3 show, here's something that we're going to say that is different from the other 16 seasons on this list. We both seen God Only Knows Seasons 1 and 2. We're ready to watch the third season because that show is actually really damn funny. I treat it as a comedy. The show is not grounded on realism whatsoever. It's very cartoonish in nature. I mean, there was one scene where Gamer gets called a cockroach, and he actually turns into a little cockroach and runs and scatters away. So, yeah. It's really not that realistic, though. It would be hilarious if there was kind of a scenario like that, except the girls you actually have to use real-life situations, which is something Gamer is impossible doing. But the show, the way it is, I find it to be pretty entertaining. I am looking forward to this season.
And considering I know the theme for this season, it's going to be even most entertaining. You know what it's titled?
What?
The Goddess Arc.
What's the Goddess Arc?
I have no idea, but it sounds like it's about goddesses. And as you know, goddesses in dating sims are unique in their own special way.
Well, I have no idea. There wasn't a goddess in Katao Shoujo.
Yeah. Expand the horizons, man. Learn to discard the 3D world for the true 2D pair.
You crazy bastard. So yeah, look, that's a show I'm definitely gonna watch. It probably will be on Crunchyroll like the first 2 seasons. So when it goes on there, checking it out.
Okay, you want to do the next one because I want to do the one after it.
Oh, okay, so that's where it is. Sure. Hakenden Toho Haken Ibun Season 2, sequel to that series. 5 years ago, almost every villager of Utsuka died due to a tragic plague, but mysteriously enough, the 3 survivors, a girl and 2 boys, sorry, I have the hiccups, emerged. Now living in a church, the three live in isolation, hidden from those who may seek to find them. Shino, one of the survivors, has control over the power of Murasame, the Blade of Life, but when the Imperial Church seeks to take their Murasame for themselves, their peaceful life becomes a thing of the past. Don't care.
Yeah, it's like I never really watched the first season, even though I said I was going to. It didn't get any big hype enough for me to check it out.
Your turn.
Okay, here we go. Chojigen Game Neptune the Animation. Anime adaptation of Idea Factory's role-playing game Chojigen Game Neptunia, Hyperdimension Neptunia. So, do you know anything about this at all?
I know it's a video game that
Okay.
I think it got poor reviews. I can't tell.
The concept's interestingly enough. Okay, do you like video games?
Until PlayStation 4 does the same stupid shit as Xbox One does, yes, for now.
Okay, do you like consoles?
Again, if
Yeah,
the
I know.
PlayStation 4 has this,
Okay.
not much about the console specs about that console's revealed. I hope they learned their lesson from Xbox One, but for the moment, I still do. Yes, except for Xbox One. That could go fuck itself.
Now, do you like console wars?
No! I thought the console war of this generation was batshit retarded because when you break it down, it's all about people's preferences. They want to buy a console because they want to play a particular game or they just like the system specs. Whatever. That's all your taste. I bought the Xbox 360 because I wanted to play Elder Scrolls Oblivion. That got delayed. It was supposed to be a launch title with the 360. But whatever. I still got the 360, still got Oblivion. That was the reason why I played it. Do I regret it? Sorta. I kind of want to get my hands on the PlayStation 3 at this point. But at the end of the day, it's just all preferences. I'm not going to get into a competition like Xbox is far superior to PS3 or PS3 far superior. Or PC is better. Who fucking cares? I just want to play what I like to play without the hassle of always online DRM, and I can take my games elsewhere to other people's consoles.
Okay. Is like on that note, how would you feel if console wars were personified as goddesses fighting each other with an army of followers in their wake?
Dude, then the world will be destroyed in like 2 hours flat.
Welcome to Hyperdimension Neptunia.
Oh god.
Every single one of these characters is a representation of a different video game console.
Really?
Yes. Neptunia is the failed Sega system that was originally going to be made before Sega went belly up. And all the other characters here are Xbox, Wii, and PlayStation. Black hair's PlayStation, I believe. Blonde's Xbox, and one Xbox looks like it's sitting on is the Wii.
I could see that.
Welcome to Console Wars, the anime.
Console Wars, the Moe Blob anime.
Interestingly enough, though, Kenji Afune is a main weapon. If he doesn't show up in the anime in any form, I'm going to be super disappointed.
Okay. I'm a little curious because, well, first off, the console was that was actually done before. There was this one anime, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a medieval era fantasy anime that talks about the Nintendo Sega console wars of the Genesis versus Super NES. And all the characters are like representations of, or like homages to other video game characters and stuff. And there's like this one main character who's supposed to be Sonic. I forgot what it was called, but somebody knows what the hell I'm talking about. They could post a comment and explain it to me. But yeah, it's kind of been done before, so it's really not that originally unique. And it's been done before recently too, so.
I just like it was like with like some of the sequels, they even have like older dead generations, like Atari has a personification.
Wow.
That was hilarious. Apparently like Atari was so malicious, all of her followers turned on her and she lost all of her power and died.
Sounds like Atari.
So
sounds like
yeah.
Xbox is going to be the same way. Okay.
It's going to be interesting when the next Neptunia game comes out once the next gen consoles are made.
God, I'm glad for recording this.
Because Neptunia is a Sony product, so their job is to constantly rip into Microsoft.
Uh, I'm so glad that we recorded this on the same week the Xbox One is revealed, so I can finally vent out my frustrations with that fucking. It's not even a video game console, it's now a cable box.
Actually, you need a completely different device to turn it into a cable box.
And it's more Kinect pandering, which I still don't even have a Kinect, and I still have no reason to have one. So yeah, I'm leading towards the PS4, and if that fails me, well, I might just skip the Wii U and just go to PC gaming. Yeah, PC gaming has that same shit with the account registration. The PC gaming kind of got their shit down for years ago, so there's barely any problems with it. I just have to worry about certain game publishers and whatnot if they want to choose for always online DRM. Whatever. I might actually check out Neptunia. I might if I could catch the metaphors, which I might. Hopefully, I can.
It's chock full of references from what
Yeah.
it's explained.
Hopefully, I could get enjoyment out of it because referential humor is hit and miss with me. But if you write a story that's unique and original, but it secretly parallels something that went wrong, I could get enjoyment out of it. Like there's this one episode of the Boondocks where, what's his name? Tom Dubois gets wrongfully arrested for being a serial killer. So Riley gets Ed the Third and Jin Rummy to go find the killer, but they instead rob a Korean market instead. The whole episode was basically just a giant reference to how Bush handled things from September 11th to the Iraq War. So yeah, if you could just stealth it in, I would definitely get it. If you could just stealth in certain console war parts, I could definitely get enjoyment out of it. Alright, next show, because I'm about to lose my voice. Kami-sama no Inai Nichiyubi. The fantasy is set 15 years after humans stopped being born and dead stopped dying, since the world was abandoned by God. Ouch. That left gravekeepers with the unique task of giving the would-be dead peace. A girl named Ai is the only gravekeeper in her village. She was born from a gravekeeper mother and a human father 12 years ago. One day, a boy named Habuni Habado appears and begins firing his pistol indiscriminately and setting the village on fire. Habuni confronts Ai with the shocking truth. What is that truth? I don't know. They want me to watch it to find out. Well, I'm really not that interested.
The character designs look kind of generic.
Alright, now we go through now we're actually going to look at some of the, I never do this, but we got to look at some of the OVA specials, because guess what? Speaking of Magical Girl spin-offs, Magical Star canon 100%. This story reimagines the idol Kana Nakagawa from season 1 as a magical girl. Okay.
Yeah, more world God only knows.
Gonna watch. See, nothing else is catching my attention. Ooh, what's this? From the third in the third row, first thing, Corpse Party Tortured Souls. Bundled with the limited number edition of Corpse Party the Anthology, Sachiko no Rei Yugi Historic Birthday to You spin-off game, which I think is a comedy spin-off, I can't tell. The original Corpse Party game followed a group of high school students trapped in an elementary school which is haunted by children who disappeared. Guess what? I've played and completed the PSP game, and I'm currently in the middle of the second one. It's a pretty fucked up game.
Gotta love some.
Not only is it just Mori blobs getting tortured and killed, or some of them are Mori blobs, but the setting, the plot, all of it is it's very eerie, kind of fucked up. I actually felt sorry for some of the characters and how they died, and then how the game ended how it ended in the first game. I was like, wow, they don't want you to feel good after playing this game one bit. It's just cruel. And then Book of Shadows comes in. I heard it ends in a cliffhanger, spoiler alert, but that might be for myself too, because there's going to be another game in that particular canon called Corpse Party Blood Drive, which is coming to the Vita. It may get a local release, I hope, keeping my fingers crossed, because I was surprised that Book of Shadows got a local release. I only thought the first game was going to be just that it. But
Corpse Party is surprisingly popular.
Yes, Corpse Party is. It may have a niche audience, but that niche audience is fucking loyal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that fan base is either, because I never talked to anyone else about this game. I'm the only one who I know that plays this game. So yeah, if you're a fan of those games, comment or say something. I just want to know. Okay, let's see.
There's some Mira Nikki
There's
OVAs, and that's
I
interestingly
haven't seen
enough. If you're a fan of Future Diaries, everyone, at least 20 people have tried to convince me to watch this series, so
no eyes convinced.
I guess I have more reason to now. And second row, second from the left, there's something for you there.
Second.
Right below the Attack on Titan.
Oh, sorry, man. I got everything zoomed up. Zooming out a little. Okay, I just have to find Attack on Titan.
Well, Shingo wa no Kajoni.
Okay, where? Oh, below it?
Yeah.
Oh my goddess. They've been making a bunch of OVAs, but nobody's licensing the rest of them, which makes me sad. But I do have the first season of Oh My Goddess, need to finish watching that. I do have the movie and the OVAs from the 90s, already reviewed them, watched those. Need to get my hands on the second season, but I need to finish watching the first season first. I'm glad that they're still making stuff for Amagoddess, because I don't know if the manga's still continuing or not. But, okay, that makes me a little happy. Then there's Moromi-san, which is like diagonal top right from Amagoddess. People keep telling me Moromi-san is like Excel Saga, only crazier. I've seen 2 episodes.
Excel Saga, but about mermaids.
I've seen 2 episodes, but I don't see the Excel Saga feel to it yet.
And,
Detroit.
and right next to Moromi-san is something interesting.
Fairy Tail Rave?
Yeah, they're bringing back Rave Master and crossing it over with Fairy Tail.
Oh, okay.
I liked Rave Master when it was on Toonami, but it got really short-lived and kind of depresses me about that. Curse you, Tomo Pop, why'd you have to die?
Let's see, anything in the movies. I heard a lot of people are not looking forward to Ghost in the Shell Rise. Hopefully people's expectations are Fate Zero Cafe. Is Urobuchi working on this one?
Oh boy.
Probably not. Boy, there's a lot of spin-offs of the Fate series. There was also, what was it, Carnival Phantasm. I haven't seen any of that, man. I kind of wish I was a fan of that particular visual novel group. I would be so
they're
stoked.
constantly getting some more and more content every year. They're not then. But we have the new Pokemon movie coming out with Mewtwo turning into Majin Buu.
A Studio Ghibli film's coming out called Kaze Tashino.
And right above that's Gintama.
I don't get much for Gintama.
I was like, I've always wanted to watch Gintama, but I'm like, I don't have time to marathon hundreds of something episodes.
That vampire anime we just mentioned is apparently about to get a movie, I think. I don't know, I think this list is still incomplete, but at the same time I want to get this video out because the summer basically already started.
Yeah.
So that's all we have to say. This list is actually pretty positive. We have some shows to watch, but I still have some shows to finish this season. As for the reviews, Detroit Metal City will be coming out this weekend. I finished watching the show. I just need to finish up the script, record it, then the usual editing, and it will be out. And then, I'm thinking Welcome to the NHK might be after that. So that's your quick little update. Anything else you want to say? What do you think of this list overall?
Overall, I was surprised how well I enjoyed the spring lineup. Even some shows that I thought were going to be terrible turned out to be really good. So,
Horoscope.
Well, besides Akuno Roto,
You said
so
you
I
liked
even
that show.
it's like like the thing about Akuno Hana is like the is weird because the rotoscoping is still awful, but the content is good and really hilarious even when it's not supposed to be. And also also Cynical High School Boy was entertaining, even though I thought it was just going to be terrible and about a narcissist, but they made it funny. So, yeah. Um, Besides that, it was like Moromi-san, Titan.
Alright, I definitely need to watch more Titan and Moromi-san. But like I said, I got these. I still. I also have pages of backlogs of anime reviews, and I promised my subs the following 5 actually. Still need to fit. I promised them 5 reviews. I'm gonna get done watching those first. If I do have the time, I may check out the other shows. So that's all I gotta say. Leave a comment if you wish. Darkscream217 signing out.
See you later.
Alright, see ya.